Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're a B2B buyer, an international distributor, or a food exec trying to figure out how to level up your premium product lines, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the premium whole grain rice market, and we're zeroing in on one absolutely incredible, highly lucrative product. We're talking about 1121 Brown Basmati rice. We're going to break down exactly what makes this specific grain such a massive game changer for international wholesale and export markets. Okay, let's just jump right into it with a number that should instantly catch your eye, 8.3 millimeters. That right there is the average grain length of premium 1121 Brown Basmati. To put that into perspective, before it's even cooked, before it even hits the plate, this extra long structure gives it a visual appeal that completely justifies premium pricing on retail shelves. I mean, it's long, it's elegant, and it literally sets the gold standard right out of the gate.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Brown Basmati advantage, then dig into the processing and the strict grain specs, and see how it stacks up directly against White Basmati. After that, we'll explore its exploding health-focused market appeal, commercial applications, packaging options, and finally, how you can go about selecting a rock-solid export supplier.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the Brown Basmati advantage. So what is it? Sourced directly from the legendary fertile rice-growing regions of Punjab, 1121 Brown Basmati is an extra-long grain variety with one very crucial twist. It keeps its outer bran layer after the husk is removed, so it doesn't go through that full polishing process. And you know that untouched bran layer? That's the secret sauce here. It's what gives the rice its gorgeous natural brown color, a really rich, nutty flavor, and this firm, chewy, whole grain texture that health-conscious consumers are literally hunting for right now. Moving right along to Section 2, processing and grain specifications. Because let's be real, for wholesale buyers, the specs are the ultimate deciding factor. These specs are ridiculously tightly controlled, and for good reason. They guarantee a premium commercial product. Beyond that massive 8.2 to 8.3 millimeter length, look at that moisture cap, a maximum of 12%. This strict moisture control is absolutely critical for surviving international shipping and maintaining shelf stability over the long haul. Admixture, so foreign matter, is kept strictly under 5%, and the polishing grade explicitly listed as none, which perfectly preserves that whole grain integrity we just talked about. But I really want you to focus on this one specific metric right here, 1 to 2%. That is the absolute maximum allowance for broken grains in a premium 1121 Brown Basmati shipment. Why so low? Well, minimal breakage is essential. It guarantees visual uniformity across the board, which is exactly what premium retailers demand for their shelves, especially, when the product is sitting there in transparent packaging. It has to look flawless. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth do suppliers achieve this level of perfection? Well, it takes a very precise processing sequence. Step 1 is the careful selection and cleaning of the paddy, but steps 2 and 3, that is where the magic really happens. They have to dehusk the rice without polishing it. Unlike white rice, where the whole goal is to mill and polish the grain until it's smooth, the goal here is way more delicate. It's like removing a heavy winter coat, but making sure you don't even wrinkle the sweater underneath. You're taking off the outer husk while leaving that bran layer completely 100% intact. Then, it finishes up with rigorous grading by grain size, separating out any broken grains to hit that 1 to 2% mark, and finally, quality inspection. Let's move to Section 3, brown versus white basmati, and look at those processing differences side by side. The absolute key takeaway here is understanding that the primary difference boils down to the level of processing. White basmati is milled and polished. That gives it a bright white look, a softer texture, and a pretty short cooking time. Brown basmati, because it retains that outer bran layer, is naturally brown. It's firmer, and it packs a fantastic nutty flavor. Now, you might notice that brown basmati requires a longer cooking time. In conventional rice markets, you'd probably think, oh, that's a hurdle. But in the premium whole grain market, it is actually a massive advantage. That longer cooking time and firmer texture actually validate the unrefined natural processing for the consumer. It proves to them that this is the real deal, which is exactly what they are willing to pay a premium for. Which brings us perfectly to Section 4, health-focused market appeal. Look, the market for less refined food is absolutely exploding right now, and that makes 1121 Brown Basmati a standout superstar for health-focused supermarkets, specialty grocery stores, and natural food ranges. Thanks to that exceptional grain length we talked about, it has a huge visual advantage over those shorter, stubbier whole grain rice varieties you usually see. It looks premium, it feels premium, and it completely hits the nail on the head for organic style categories and high-end private label programs. I actually want to pause for a second on this quote from our source material because it brilliantly captures the so what of this whole thing. For wholesale and export buyers, 1121 Brown Basmati creates an opportunity to serve a growing range of premium and health-focused food categories. Think about that. Stocking this rice isn't just about adding another SKU to your catalog. It's a strategic play. It allows you to directly capture that surging consumer demand for whole grain, naturally processed foods, all without sacrificing the premium visual appeal of a long grain basmati. Let's dive into Section 5, Commercial Applications and Packaging. How is this actually being used out in the wild?
Over on the food service side of things, commercial kitchens and chefs are using this grain to completely elevate their menus. We're talking high-end, health-focused rice bowls, whole grain pilafs, and some truly amazing premium biryani variations. But, and this is a big but, commercial kitchens definitely have to adapt. Because of that intact bran layer, this rice absorbs water a bit differently, and it takes longer to soften up. So, robust recipe testing, dialing in the cooking time, the soaking duration, the holding conditions, all of that is absolutely essential before anyone does a large-scale menu rollout. To support all these different end users, buyers have some serious packaging flexibility. Whether you're looking for 1 to 10 kilogram retail bags for a boutique grocery store, 20 kilogram packs for food service, or just massive 40 kilogram bulk bags, the supply chain can handle the whole shebang. Plus, there is massive potential here for customized private label options. Brands can easily take this premium grain and package it right under their own health-focused branding. All right, finally, Section 6, Selecting your export supplier. This is arguably the most important part. Whatever you do, do not sign a contract until you have rigorously evaluated a supplier against a very strict checklist. You absolutely must demand grain length consistency above that 8.2 millimeter mark, strict moisture control capped at 12%, and of course, that ultra-low 1 to 2% maximum for broken grains. On top of that, you need to verify their actual milling capabilities. Like, can they actually preserve that fragile bran layer effectively? And always ensure sampling is available before you commit to large-scale procurement, just so you can test the cooking behavior and texture for yourself. And remember, international logistics are complicated. It's a huge puzzle. A truly reliable export partner does way more than just fill a bag with rice and put it on a boat. They need to handle export compliance flawlessly. That means supporting you through laboratory testing, packaging approvals, and managing all that essential commercial paperwork. We're talking invoices, quality reports, certificates of origin, bills of lading, all of it. They also have to guarantee controlled storage environments so that rogue moisture and humidity don't ruin your investment while it's in transit.
So, we've covered the strict specs, the massive market positioning, and the exact sourcing strategy you need. 1121 Brown Basmati is, without a doubt, a powerful differentiator for any premium food catalog. So, I'm going to leave you with this one thought to chew on. As global consumer demand for natural, less processed foods continues to just absolutely skyrocket, is your supply chain ready for the whole grain revolution? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the actionable edge you need in the premium rice market. See you next time.